Hello everyone, my name is Uncle Alex.
I'm Taylor.
And we are from Uncle and Taylor Productions, where we review movies, toys, books, really, whatever it is that we feel like reviewing. Today, Pixar's newest film,
Inside Out.
Inside Out. This will be a minor spoiler-filled review. I mean, we're not going to try to spoil everything, but there's going to be some spoilers. We're not going to be too careful about it, so if you don't want any of that, please move on. Just a warning before we get into it. Anyway, Taylor, my 9-year-old niece, what did you think of Pixar's newest film?
Best movie that they had. Best movie that Pixar has made in a while.
I would agree with that. I don't think Pixar's made a film to this level since Toy Story 3.
Yes, me too.
And not that I didn't like Brave, and I didn't even see Cars 2. It's the only Pixar film that I've yet to see. But
I've seen all of the Pixar films. They're all really good.
But if I was tiering Pixar movies by their highest, I think they had this amazing run between like Up and WALL-E and Ratatouille and Toy Story 3. I think that was like a fantastic run, and I think Inside Out largely fits in with those quality-wise.
Yes, it really does.
Yeah, I agree. So, let's just synopsis this movie real quick. I mean, I'm sure most of you have seen it or heard about it or kind of get the gist. The movie's about a young girl named Riley.
Yes, she is 11 in the movie, and she moves.
Yeah, she moves to San Francisco, and really the two dueling narratives in the film are Riley moving and also what's going on inside Riley's mind, where she has 5 chief emotions, amongst them being...
The main emotion is joy, disgust, anger, and our cute little sadness, and fear.
And Fear, who...
We don't have.
She doesn't have the toy of Fear.
Not yet.
Poor Bill Hader.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so we go through the adventure of joy
And sadness.
Sadness, kind of understanding their place inside Riley's mind. Joy is the main emotion. She's sort of the Woody of this picture, whereas sadness seems to be completely misplaced. We don't really know why she's there. And basically, the big moral of the story is that joy understands that sadness has its place too. It's a really important moral for kids to understand, that
It's okay to be sad.
it's okay to be sad sometimes. So, any low points of the movie for you, Taylor?
Well, no, not really any lows for me.
Well, we have discussed this. There is sort of a plot thread that hangs out there with Riley's room, right?
Yes.
Would you like to discuss it?
Yes. Well, see, when the movie started, we saw a room and it wasn't very, let's say, unique and wasn't really her style. And we really wanted to see what her house would be like when she adjusted to it. And they did not show it. So that was kind of a low.
Yeah, it was a weird plot thread to leave out, was that we meet Riley's room and it doesn't look, it looks sad.
It looks real sad.
It's kind of empty, and it just, like, there's this whole thing about the moving truck, the moving van is taking a long time to get to their place, so she doesn't have any of her stuff, so she feels even more displaced in her new home.
There's a fly, so if you see a little black thing,
It's just a fly.
it's just a fly. There's a fly. It's very tiny.
Yeah, they don't need to worry about the fly. Anyway, so that's one minor thing. I think some of the running gags don't always work perfectly for me, like the one about things that get stuck in your head, like jingles and stuff, and there's like a gum jingle. And it's not that it's not funny. It is. It's good. It's just not that funny. And some of the major supporting characters, like Disgust, Anger, and like Fear, I really like these 3, but
they didn't get enough screen time.
They are secondary to the other 2 emotions, which are joy and sadness over there. So we don't have Fear, but we do have Anger and we do have Disgust, and I feel like these characters are really fun and I really like them. But unfortunately, they're kind of like 1 or 2 reactions. You know, their character traits are like very shallow, and it's not necessarily bad. It works still here, but it's weird because you kind of askew the narrative sometimes when you get too far into characters that don't mean as much to the plot, but also when it's a character doing one thing over and over again, like him getting angry and hitting his arms down and fire, you know, it's not bad, again, it's just a little shallow. I guess, maybe.
Yeah, I want them to have more screen time, more emotion, more just screen time and just seeing them more.
Well, I do think an important part of the movie is that we're supposed to think that when you're a character who is literally the embodiment of joy or disgust, for example, that you are always joyful or you are always finding things disgusting. But we do...
I'm going to pick up Sadness, so...
I got her.
Oh, you did.
It's cool. It's not important right now. Right now, you, the viewers, you are what is important. Anyway, there is a heartbreaking moment, and there are many heartbreaking moments in the film, probably one of the strongest aspects of this movie.
It's not a sad movie.
But we do find Joy experience her own sadness. She cries, and that's a powerful moment.
Yes, it is.
So these characters do have depth, even though you might not think so, because, again, embodiment, literal embodiment of a certain type of emotion.
And it was really sad, and we all know Bing Bong.
Okay, so we got to get into this really quick. Bing Bong, Riley's imaginary friend from when she's younger. We do interact with him. Joy and Sadness kind of get removed from headquarters, and they need to get back. And on their journeys back, they meet Bing Bong.
Who's a friend? Let's play Bing Bong, Bing Bong. Yeah, I changed that.
Okay, so one of the many heartbreaking scenes in the film. Again, minor spoiler for anybody who has yet to see it. Bing Bong doesn't make it.
He unfortunately dies.
He disappears.
He disappears.
And there's a touching moment where the game that he used to play with Riley was about them getting
to the moon.
So when he helps Joy get out of the ditch that they're in like the memory falls or the memory pit or whatever they call it. He says he tells Joy to take her to the moon for me. It's a really beautiful moment, and then he disappears into nothingness.
It made me cry. That's how touching it is.
It was touching. And then, of course, there's the end where Riley understands sadness and understands it's okay to feel it, and she hugs her parents and she cries, and that's also very emotional. When Goofball Island falls, that's very emotional. There's a lot of really strong... This movie plays on pathos very strongly, and that is something that Pixar tends to do. I mean, anybody who's seen Toy Story 3 and didn't almost shed a tear, you're a monster. You're a terrible person.
I shed a tear.
Me too. Oh, man. I was in the theater, and I was just trying to hold it together, like...
That's just like... That's how I was. I'm not kidding, that's how I was.
Anywho, closing thoughts on this movie?
Loved it.
Loved it. So, rank it out of 10. 10 stars. How many do you give it?
100.
That's a lot of stars.
Yeah.
I give it 1,000. No, really out of 10 stars, I give this a legitimate high 8 or a 9. It's really, really, really good. And one of my favorite Pixar films ever. Really my favorite movie of the year, and I loved a few movies this year. I loved Mad Max, I loved It Follows, I loved Ex Machina, but I think this movie...
Beats it all.
Beats it all. Well, I like to write. I want to write things, you know?
Yeah.
And I know when a movie makes me jealous for not having written it, that it's done something amazing, and that's this movie. So, highly recommended. One of my favorite movies of the year, maybe my very favorite. Was it your favorite movie of the year?
Yeah!
Yeah!
Yes,
so,
it was.
That says a lot. I've seen it twice. You've seen it 3 times.
Yes, I have.
We both plan on seeing it again. Ooh, the short right before it gives us that classic Pixar film, and it's fantastic. It's called Lava. We don't have a lot of time to cover that, but it's great. It's really fun. We are closing out. 2 volcanoes fall in love. Good stuff. Good old-fashioned Pixar joy. Anyway, we are signing out. Highly recommended. 9 stars, 10 stars. Watch this movie if you haven't. If you haven't, what are you doing with your life? Get it together, people. Get it together.
Yes.
Yeah.
What he said.
Anywho, my name is Uncle Alex.
I'm Taylor.
If you enjoyed our video, please subscribe down below. Like this video. Get the word out. We're going to be doing reviews as much as we possibly can. You take care, beautiful people. We love you. Bye.